Cracking that versus which. Business English Grammar Insights. Greetings, colleagues. Do you ever feel like that and which are conspiring against your perfect business English? You're not alone. They're the sneaky grammar duo that can turn your sentences from stellar to confusing. But today, we're on a mission to uncover their secrets and help you speak and write like a pro. So grab your thinking caps. It's that versus which, and it's going to be epic. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that has confounded even the most seasoned English speakers, that versus which. This is something that many native English speakers have trouble with. These words often get confused and cause some grammar issues. But no more. By the end of this video, you'll master the art of choosing that or which with confidence, and your business English will level up. Now let me be honest, that versus which is something that I would consider advanced. Why do I say that? Because a lot of native English speakers get this wrong. And so if the native English speaker gets it wrong and you're struggling speaking English, talking in business English with your colleagues or clients, this is not something that I would worry too much about. Having said that, it's good to get things right. So it is worth considering, especially if you're using these terms, that and which, often, then it's a good idea to take a little bit of time and figure out which one you should be using. But if you're struggling, don't worry about it too much. Just do the best. Pay attention to the commas. If you get the commas right, then you're probably going to get that or which right. So watch this video. Now the comma section is towards the end, but if you don't watch the other sections first, it might not make that much sense. I try to break it down a little bit more each section that we go. By the time you get to the end of the video, you'll have a good understanding of that versus which. So stick with me. Section 1. The basics. Let's lay the groundwork. First, that and which are both relative pronouns, which means they help connect different parts of a sentence. However, they work slightly differently. So let's get into it. That is the speedy, no-nonsense relative pronoun. It's used in restrictive clauses. What does that mean? Well, these are clauses that are crucial to the meaning of the sentence. They limit or restrict the scope of what you're talking about. Think of that as a grammar traffic cop, directing your reader's focus right where you want it. On the other hand, which is a bit more leisurely or laid back. It's used in non-restrictive clauses. These clauses provide additional non-essential information. Non-essential meaning it's not essential, it's not necessary to the rest of the sentence. Which is like the friendly storyteller. It adds a bit more detail to the narrative without affecting the core meaning of the sentence. Now let's try to make this even clearer by using some good examples. Restrictive, using that. The report that I submitted is ready for review. In this case, that tells us which report is ready for review, the one I submitted. This is essential to the sentence because otherwise we don't know which report is ready for review. We can't take out that I submitted without changing the meaning of the sentence or adding a lot more confusion to the sentence. Let's switch to the non-restrictive which. The report, which I submitted, is ready for review. In this case, which gives extra information about the report, but the core message is that it's ready for review. It's not essential because it's adding extra information that's not necessary to the sentence. And you can see this especially when it's in writing because it's set off by commas. The report, comma, which I submitted, comma, is ready for review. If we take out that non-restrictive clause, we could just say the report is ready for review. Which I submitted is just adding extra information. It's not necessary, it's just background information, or a little bit more information. Get it? Got it? Good. So that is your precision tool, in which is your storyteller. But we're just getting started. Stick around because next we'll tackle some practical tips for choosing between that and which in your business English. Essential versus non-essential. We've grasped the basics. Now it's time to drill down a little deeper. Now let's discuss essential versus non-essential information in your sentences. You see, the choice between that and which boils down to whether the information you're presenting is essential or non-essential. This is the key to using these relative pronouns like a pro. When the information is essential for the meaning of the sentence, go with that. On the other hand, when the meaning is non-essential, a bonus or extra information, background information, then we choose which. But what makes the information essential or non-essential? Well, it's about the clarity and necessity. Essential information is like the beating heart of the sentence. Without it, the sentence just wouldn't make sense. Non-essential information, however, is just extra information. It may be good to have, it may add some detail to the sentence, but it's not essential, it's not necessary to the sentence. The sentence still makes sense without it. Let's go into some more examples. Essential. Remember, for essential, we use that. I need the data that our client requested yesterday. Here, the that makes it clear that we're talking about a specific set of data, the one our client requested. Maybe we have a lot of different sets of data. Which data do you need? Oh, the data that our client requested yesterday. Now let's switch over to non-essential, where we use which. I need the data, which is stored in the cloud, as soon as possible. In this case, which adds some extra info about where the data is stored, but doesn't change the core message. You need the data. Do you see the difference? That gets down to business where you're sharing critical information, and which adds a touch of flair when you've got more to say. Extra information, background information, just adds a little bit more. Section 3, Business Applications. So now we've got the basics down, and we've mastered the art of distinguishing essential from non-essential information. Now let's dive into some real-world business applications, where understanding that and which can make or break the professional communication. In business, clarity and precision are paramount. Whether you're composing emails, reports, or presentations, the choice between that and which can significantly impact the message. Exercise for you. All right, now it's time to put your learning into action with a fun exercise. In each example, I'll present a business scenario, and you have to decide whether to use that or which. Remember, it's all about identifying essential versus non-essential information. Would you say A, our sales in 2023 that exceeded our expectations showcase the strength of our team? Or B, our sales in 2023, which exceeded our expectations, showcase the strength of our team? So what do you think? Which one is the better one to use? If you need more time, of course, you can pause the video. I'll give the answer in 5. The correct answer is our sales in 2023, which exceeded our expectations, showcase the strength of our team. This is non-essential information. It's giving background information about the sales in 2023, but it doesn't change the sales in 2023. It doesn't limit it or restrict it. So it's non-restrictive or non-essential. Now imagine you're working on a detailed project report. How about this sentence? Choose whether A, the report that I submitted last week outlines our market research findings, or B, the report which I submitted last week outlines our market research findings. Here, the correct answer is the report that I submitted last week outlines our market research findings. It's essential because it's clarifying, explaining, defining what report I'm talking about. The report that I submitted last week. Example 3. Imagine you're writing an email to a colleague. Would you write A, the minutes of the meeting which you requested have been attached? Or B, the minutes of the meeting that you requested have been attached. The correct answer? The minutes of the meeting that you requested have been attached. All right, let's jump to our final example, example 4. Let's think of this as casual conversation. We have an informal chat with a coworker. Would you say, the new project that we're starting next week is quite exciting? Or, the new project which is starting next week is quite exciting? Now, if we have more than one project, we have more than one new project, then we're using this as an essential clause, an essential phrase. It's defining which project we're talking about. So the correct answer is, the new project that we're starting next week is quite exciting. Now, I don't mean to nitpick, because on almost all of these examples, you could change it a little bit and make it non-essential. But the sentence would change a little bit. The meaning would change, or maybe the background information would change. So don't think that there's only one right answer all the time, but how you write it is going to be different depending on what you're talking about. And remember, the non-essential phrase will be set off in commas. All right, great job. Practicing these scenarios and thinking about other scenarios will help reinforce your understanding of that in which. If you want an extra challenge, create a few sentences of your own using that and which correctly in business scenarios. Share them in the comment sections for feedback from the supportive community. Don't worry if you make a mistake, that's how we learn. You often learn more from the mistakes than the ones that you get right. Section 4, the essential comma. We're nearing the end of the journey of that versus which. But before we wrap up, there's one essential punctuation mark that we need to address. We've talked about it a little bit before, but the comma. In many cases, the comma plays a crucial role in distinguishing between that and which clauses. The use of the comma can make a significant difference in the meaning of the sentence. Let's look at an example. You're creating a sales report. You can say, our Q3 sales figures, which exceeded expectations, are in the report. Here it's clear that only the Q3, third quarter, sales figures exceeded expectations. Without the comma, you could mean all our sales figures exceeded expectations. The comma adds precision to the writing, helping your audience understand your intended message. However, it's important to note, as we've discussed, that in restrictive clauses, like that clauses, you usually don't use a comma. If we say, the report that I sent yesterday is on your desk, there's no comma because that is used in a restrictive sense, and the information is essential to understanding the sentence. Which report? The report that I sent yesterday. So we've reached the end of the journey of that versus which in business English. Hope you're feeling more confident in navigating these grammar issues. Remember, mastering that versus which is about providing clarity and ensuring that your communication is precise. Whether you're writing reports, sending emails, or delivering presentations, these grammar insights will serve you well in your professional journey. If you found this video helpful, please do conquer that like button and make it ours. Let's keep the business English learning going. Watch this next rundown video.